I have to prepare. There needs to be more. There needs to be more barricades over here. There needs to be more barricades. Okay. I've been dreading this my whole life. Okay, not my whole life, but still, ever since I got onto YouTube, I've been dreading this day. I've been fearing when this will happen. Oh God, I'm about to meet my maker. I'm about to meet. Oh God, it's gonna break me. It's going to break me. Get yourself together, soldier. You need to snap out of it. Snap out of it. That's why you got me here, to get you into shape so you can delve into it face first. Sir, yes, sir, Nuke. Sergeant General Nuke. I'm sorry. Don't apologize to me, and just go out there and kill it. You need to kill the beast. You need to get rid of it if you want to move on with your goddamn life. This is the big behemoth. This is my white whale. This is what I've been dreading coming into contact with for some time, because I know it will break me. This is going to break the show. Oh, come on. You've reviewed movies harder to review than this one. Oh, really? Well, guess what, Nuke? You must be new to the program. Actually, I am. Oh, shit. Oh, that's right. I forgot. This is your very first time on the show. Welcome to the Gravitalk family, Nuke. Yes, I know. I have been on this YouTube channel before, just not in this specific program. Well, it's a perfect opportunity for you to drop by, because this happens to be my last ever episode. Oh, fuck. Wait, why is it your last episode? And why would you stop now? The year of 2016 just started. This is when all the big behemoths, this is when all the big blockbuster legends come returning to the big screen all at once. You got your superheroes getting together and fighting each other. You got your supernatural scientists changing genders. You got your aliens coming back after 20 odd years for some reason, coming back all of a sudden. And you got your talking sausages. Why would you back down now, of all times to do that? I'll tell you why. Because of Deadpool. That's why. Because of goddamn fucking Deadpool. Okay? Why the fuck would this be any different? Deadpool. Why would that make you quit reviewing? Do you know who this is? Do you know the subject of this episode? Oh, God. I started Gravitalk as an opportunity to show that the supervillain community was more than just a bunch of savage assholes who destroy places and conquer lands and beat the shit out of superheroes. I mean, sure, we do all that stuff, but we also do other stuff too, such as the fact that we all love movies. And I wanted to, and I tried to use this YouTube series as an opportunity to show people that. And now that opportunity is about to be plummeted into the ground, because now the movie that to be reviewed this week is Deadpool. Oh, God. I don't get you, Graviton. Everyone else is looking forward to dissecting Deadpool. There's already reviews all over the place. Everyone knows that the millisecond a movie hits the theaters, everyone's gonna talk about it. You even reminded yourself that during your Star Wars 7 review. You said that. Yes, yeah, I know, but it's not about what other people do. It's because of the way I do these reviews. It's because of the way I decide to pick apart movies. Okay, all right. It's because of that. Okay. God, don't you know how I do things? I'm the new guy. Remember? Oh yeah, sorry, I needed to be reminded of that twice. Listen, the way I review movies, the way I do it is I like to be all meta about it, okay? I like to make meta jokes. I like to pick apart the movie and I like to make all these meta jokes about how the movies follow these plot devices and these tropes, and I like to point that out and stuff. And I also like to add in some vulgarity in there, some good old-fashioned vulgarity, like some sexual jokes. And the whole point of me doing all that is because it doesn't match the movies that I'm applying that to. So let's say I take the Hunger Games or the Maze Runner, and I start talking about the plot tropes, and I point them out, and it's funny because they have no idea that they're following those plot tropes, or at least they're trying to act as if they aren't, and I'm like, I'm gonna point it out, and then I put some sexual comedy in there. I'm like, hey, a dildo, monkey, ball gag, gimp, prostitute, assless chaps, and I do that because it's funny, because that movie would not have those things. They wouldn't have dildos and gimps and assless chaps, and that's the whole point, is that it's funny because they would never go there, but I would, talking about it. But I can't do any of that with Deadpool because that's already got all of those things. It already has vulgar comedy, so I can't add vulgar comedy to it in the review because it's already fucking there. And I can't make fun of the plot tropes. I can't make fun, be all meta about it. I cannot make meta jokes about it because they already do it themselves. So that renders me superfluous, because that's the thing that I try to do to stick out, goddammit. That's how I try to be different. I try to be funny about it. I mean, I know 3,000 billion hundred other people also try to be funny, but that's still the technique that I'm most comfortable with applying when it comes to movie reviewing, with as much meta humor and vulgarity as possible. But what is the point of doing all that for Deadpool when he does all that for me? So there's really no point in me doing this review. No point whatsoever. I can't talk about this. I can't pick apart the plot tropes and cliches that this movie does because it does it for me. I can't add sex jokes into the scenes because it also does it for me. I can't make random out-of-place pop culture references because it also does that, except a lot better than the Wayans Bros. But that's beyond the point. The point is that I have been broken. I've been defeated. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. So if you're just ready to give up, you're just ready to throw in the towel, wave the white flag, and bend over and open your buttocks, then why did you go through all this trouble then, huh? Why did you barricade this studio then? Huh? Why did you put all this together? I did it because at least I might be able to protect myself from the inevitable invasion of Deadpool. What? Do you seriously mean to say that Deadpool is gonna come here to invade the studio? That's exactly what I'm saying. It would be the meta thing to do. To all of a sudden pop into a review of his movie and be like, hey, I'm Deadpool. Hey, I see you reviewing my movie. I'm going to interrupt the review for my movie because I'd like to break the fourth wall. That's what I like to do. I'm Deadpool. No, man. I can't do that. I can't handle that. So I need to take all the precautions I can. I need to be ready. I need to be ready for him. I need to shoot him on a moment's notice. Aren't you forgetting that he's immortal? Yes, I know that, but at least it'll make me feel less dead inside when he inevitably butt-fucks all of us due to the fact that we're trying to review his movie, okay? He's too dangerous. He's too powerful. He killed the Marvel Universe, you know, and then died for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, yes, he's too powerful. He's too powerful to review. He is unreviewable. I am declaring him unreviewable because this movie practically reviews itself, so what the fuck's the point if I do it? So I'm just gonna accept my fate, but I'm gonna do it with a blaze of glory, okay? I'm gonna do it with a blaze of glory, trying to defend myself from Deadpool, inevitably just to have him butt-fuck me and kill me anyway, probably not even in that order. And do you know how stupid and irrelevant that it is me saying that? I mean, what's the point of me saying that when this movie says stuff akin to that exactly in it? So there's no point in me saying it. Don't you see now? Don't you see how superfluous this is? How superfluous it is to review the Deadpool movie in the way I do it? God. Yeah, I see that. But wait a minute. Don't you know Deadpool? Didn't you say in a previous episode that you were associated with him? Yes, I've done that. I've talked about how I'm associated with Deadpool and stuff, and but that doesn't mean he's still not capable of doing this to me. I mean, he's Deadpool. He can do whatever the fuck he wants, as evident by the movie. I mean, that's why it's so goddamn hard to talk about it, because it practically speaks for itself. It speaks for itself. Anything you could say about this movie, the movie could say for you. It could say for you. So it's practically like I'm being butt-fucked right now by Deadpool. And inevitably he's gonna butt-fuck me right now because I'm saying it. Oh, I'm gonna be vigilant. Oh, he could come at any moment. Any moment. Any moment. Well, I say this. Why not fight fire with fire? Well, what do you mean? His weapon of choice is meta-humor. Well, why don't you use some meta-humor against him? You know, just because you personally know him doesn't mean you have to acknowledge that continuity. Fuck the continuity. Let's say you never met him. I mean, come on. We never even seen you interact with him before. We can easily retcon it on this YouTube channel. A YouTube channel made by some Floridian guy who spent way too much on film school, but at least he got out of the deal Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe Illustrator so he could make this. Oh, I see what you're doing, Nuke. You're trying to use meta-humor too. You're using meta-humor too, aren't you? Yes, and we can use that to defeat Deadpool. Yes, we can use it to fight Deadpool. Yes, I'm ready for him now. If only he'd come here so we can butt-fuck him instead of him butt-fucking us. Yes, and it's okay that I'm using this level of vulgarness because guess what? That's basically what they do in this movie. Although, to be fair, they probably do it a lot more charming way than I'm doing it, granted, so I'll give them that. But yeah, let's do it. Let's defeat Deadpool. Where are you, Deadpool? Well, you're forgetting something. We're not literally fighting Deadpool. We're metaphorically doing it. Yes, metaphorically, by reviewing the movie. Alright, let's do it. Alright, so yes, here's the Deadpool movie, based off the Deadpool comic books. Yes, first, of course, we begin with the 20th Century Fox logo up, and they didn't leave the X hanging like they usually do when they fade to black on the 20th Century Fox logo. Ha! I did it! I pointed out something about this movie that the movie didn't point out. Yes, just keep doing that. Be meta about parts that the movie was not meta about. Okay? Just tackle those parts. I mean, you can tackle other parts too that the film was meta about, but specifically tackle the parts they were not meta about. Yes, I need to keep doing it that way. Alright, so next comes the title sequence to begin the movie, and we have a whole bunch of titles across this big ass scene, this freeze frame image, this multi-dimensional freeze frame image of Deadpool beating the shit out of a bunch of guys in a car, and he's got one in a wedgie, and he's got one on his he's showing his crotch as he does constantly throughout the movie, and we see all these titles floating around the place, and the titles credit like who's gonna be in the movie, such as the world's prettiest idiot, and the love interest, and the British villain, and the sassy teen, and the CGI character, and brilliant job, Graviton! Brilliant job with your spoofing of this title sequence. Actually, here's the thing. None of that was me saying that. The movie was saying that. Those were literally what the titles said. See what I mean, Nuke? I'm useless here. I am utterly useless, okay? They even point out their own tropes for me instead of me doing it. Okay. Clearly this is not the place for you to emphasize. Just skip it. Move on to the next scene. Okay. Alright. Okay. So it cuts to earlier when Deadpool is in a taxi and it's an Indian stereotype. Yes. Emphasize that it's an Indian stereotype. Yes, the movie doesn't do that. They don't emphasize that's an Indian stereotype, so you do it. Okay, so there's an Indian stereotype that's driving a taxi, and Deadpool likes to show his crotch all over the place, and he shows that he has an Adventure Time watch. Only the kids and the hipsters will know about that. But anyway, so he reveals to the Indian guy basically his whole past story, or maybe not all of his past story, but this is how we get introduced to Deadpool, and also that he has a fucked up face, and what's the point of me saying his face is fucked up when they do that? They do that in like 2,003,000 and 1 million more creative ways than I can. All I can say is like, oh, it's a fucked up face. But no, everyone else has all of these glorious ways of explaining just how his face is fucked up, and how and in specific ways it's fucked up. And I can't do any of that. I can't be that creative. Okay, really bad place to do this. So skip to another scene. Okay, so we got our scene where it establishes the villain Ajax, and how he's evil, and he's making deals with some guy who we never saw before. Yes. Point that out. Point out how we never see this random guy that he makes deals with ever again in the movie. That is important. You need to point out the stuff that the movie does not point out. Okay, alright. Okay, I think I built my confidence. I can do this. Alright, so Deadpool stops at the location where he believes will be the right location to find Ajax. And while he's waiting there, he's making a little picture of himself shooting Ajax in the fucking face. And then he talks directly to the eye. Oh boy. Oh, skip it. Yeah, but it's so hard to. It's so tantalizingly talk about it, boy. I mean, talking about how he fucked Wolverine in order to get this movie. I can't do this. Just skip it. Skip it. For the love of God, skip it. Okay. So he jumps into the car. He jumps in the car of the henchmen of Ajax, and he beats the shit out of them. He beats this guy and that guy, and then the car rolls over, and thus creating that title sequence that we saw earlier. What with all the titles of all of these jokes that I could have said, but was not creative enough to say. Skip it. Skip it. Oh, right. So then the car stops tumbly-wumbling, and he gets out, and he's surrounded by all these guys, and so he's got this one gun that has 12 bullets in it, and he shoots the people, and he counts the bullets, and he makes a whole bunch of jokes about it, way better than the jokes I could have said about it. Skip it. Okay. So anyway, so this is on the news, and watching the news is people at the X-Mansion. Yes, the X-Mansion. And who? Yes, that means we're getting the X-Men. Yes, we don't have to wait till midsummer for more X-Men. We can get them here. We can get them right now because they're in the movie. Too bad it's just Colossus and Teenage Warhead. Yeah, except there's no point in us pointing that out because the movie does. It points out that they can't afford any more X-Men other than Colossus and the really obscure mutant that they had to change the powers of just to fit the movie. Hey, do you notice what you're doing? I'm pointing out how Negasonic Teenage Warhead doesn't have those powers in the comic books, and they just gave her these new random powers to make her more like Cannonball because they wanted to use Cannonball, but then realized, oh wait a minute, let's use him for that New Mutants movie because that has the Fault in Our Stars guy attached to that. Instead, we'll have a gender-bended version of that character, and we'll give her a random name from one of the random ass mutants we have from the mutant library of Marvel stuff. Exactly! You're emphasizing things about this movie the movie didn't mention. You just have to keep doing that. Okay. Alright, I think I've got a hang of this now. Alright. Just mention the things that the movie didn't mention. Got it. Okay, so Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead get into the X-Jet, and then Colossus is and by the way, the interesting thing to point out about Colossus, he actually has his Russian accent now. Yes, that's something the movie didn't point out. They didn't point out that Colossus is actually more faithful to the comics in this version than he ever was in the previous X-Men movies. Yeah, he actually has a Russian accent. Yes, he actually does. And he even looks more like his counterpart. He's all thick and stuff. All thick and whatnot. And plus he never turns into his human counterpart, which means we get all the screen time we want with the iconic version of Colossus we're used to, when he's all metallic instead of the previous X-Men movies where he's just like in his fleshy self for 95% of it, and the other 5% is when he's all metal. No, screw it. Here he's all 100% metal. What with his metal penis, and I wish I could make a joke about that, but too bad Deadpool beat me to the punch. Skip it. Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, So as Deadpool is beating the shit out of Ajax's henchmen, he decides, you know what, I'm going to have a flashback now. He basically says that, Sorry. So he has a flashback all the way back to his superhero origin story. How did he become Deadpool? And as with Deadpool, Deadpool can be very funny and silly at times, but in the comic books there was always that point where they would always get really dark and really serious, and it wasn't jarring whenever they'd switch from the dark and serious stuff to the comedic stuff, because the comedic stuff was always dark too, so it wasn't that big of a it was not that big of a jarring change to go from comedic to dark, because the comedic was dark comedic, so they begin with Deadpool beginning his life as Wade Wilson back when he was threatening pizza boys and for the sake of young ladies, and he was basically already a mercenary, except he was a small-time mercenary, doing bad shit to people and getting money for it and stuff, and so he goes to the bar, and the bar is this place full of mercenary type people, and there's a Deadpool at the bar, and oh gee, I wonder how he got the name. See, you're emphasizing how it's predictable that he got the name Deadpool, from a literal Deadpool. Yeah, you're right. It is something that I'm pointing out that the movie didn't point out. Okay, so anyway, we got T.J. Miller there, and T.J. Miller, hopefully he'll survive this movie and not burn to a Kentucky Fried Crisp like he did in Transformers 4. Oh, spoiler alert, T.J. Miller burns into a Kentucky Fried Crisp in Transformers 4. But anyway, so that's where he meets Vanessa. Vanessa! Wait, why'd you say that? Because that's how Kingpin does it. Vanessa! Alright, see, there you go, you're making meta jokes that the movie isn't making. Yes, I can do this! So he and Vanessa hit it off real fast, with their Dave and Buster dates, and they're having sex, and the sex is and their sex is always themed according to what holiday it is, just like that opening scene of Norbit. Just like Norbit. See, that's something the Deadpool movie never thought about bringing up. Norbit. The fact that they ripped off Norbit. I don't think anyone ever brought up Norbit. Oh, right. So anyway, so now that we're done looking at Ryan Reynolds' ass and looking at Marina Baccarin's boobs with hands on them. By the way, thank you for that. Thank you very much. That makes up for the fact that we had to see Ryan Reynolds' ass many times. Thank you. So it cuts from that back to the present, where Deadpool is still at that road that everyone thought that's what the whole movie took place on. Well, guess what? That's not how real life works, okay? Movies take place in other places too, except unless the name of your movie is Steve Jobs. So anyway, so this is when Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead. See that 3 times fast. Oh, I fucked up on the first time. So anyway, so they show up, and right when Deadpool is about to finally get his revenge on Ajax. Yes, Ajax, whose real name is Francis, and Deadpool makes fun about that. But I don't give a shit about that. Who the fuck cares? I mean, it's not as funny as it is offensive. Because guess what? What if there's people whose names are Francis watching this, and they were really looking forward to the Deadpool movie, and they're like, oh sweet, a Deadpool movie, awesome, and then they watch it and they're like, oh fuck, they really screwed over all Francis's. What the fuck did I do to that? What did I do to Deadpool to deserve that? So anyway, do you notice something, Nuke? See, it's okay for me to acknowledge the comedy bits that they're doing. I'm counterbalancing them with my own quips. Oh, but you better be careful with that, Deadpool. I think a safer route is just to avoid all the snarky quips this movie has, and instead just focus on the safe parts. I like living on the dangerous side, Nuke. Hey, I'm getting a hang of this. Alright, so right as Deadpool is about to get his revenge on Ajax, Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead are there to interrupt him, and this is when Deadpool has another flashback, and this is when we transition, oh god, we transition to an action figure of his previous image from the Wolverine origin movie. Oh no! Maybe I can try to be snarky about it. Oh, they did that, did they? Oh, they're talking about the infamous butt fucking of the character, didn't they? Back when that was considered the most inaccurate portrayal of the movie character. Oh, they must think they're so clever doing that for this movie, bringing up a dark part of Deadpool's past in this movie that's supposed to highlight the bright future of the character, huh? Oh, you think you're so clever doing that? Well, it's because you are. See, this is what I mean, Deadpool. You can't dwell on what they do creatively on all the quips. Okay, it's gonna suck you dry. All right, you have to focus on the safe areas. All right, don't do this stupidly. Be smart about this. Okay, I got you, Nuke. I understand now. I have learned my lesson. Okay, all right. So after Deadpool pulls a ring pop out of his ass and proposes to Marina Bakurin, it turns out Whoopity-doo, he has cancer. Well, that was a big ass downer. Deadpool has cancer, and he has it everywhere, all the places. And so T.J. Miller suggests to him to look at that guy over there, and so you got this guy, and I won't describe this guy. I will not describe him because the movie already does that, and I need to avoid that. I need to avoid what this movie already covers. See, you're getting the hang of it again. See. Yes, I'm being smart now. So anyway, at first Deadpool is like, fuck that, no. But then he realized, wait a minute, I could die and my fiance will never see me. I gotta take this chance. So he accepts the offer from the recruiter, is the name of the guy. By the way, I'll mention this, that character could have been Dr. Killbrew in the comic books. Yes, there is a character called Dr. Killbrew, and Dr. Killbrew could have easily been here to take that place, but instead they decided to go for a generic character. Maybe the reason why they didn't go for Killbrew is because the actor didn't agree to grow a beard and glasses. Grow some glasses. Oh God, these jokes freaking suck. It's because you're comparing this to this movie, which is impossible. You can't do that, Graviton. You can't make your own jokes to scenes that already had jokes made to them. All right? It makes it a lot less funny in comparison. Remember, be smart about this. Right. Okay, so anyway, Deadpool goes on with the surgery, and so he's at this this place called the Workshop, and that's where he meets Ajax. That's where he meets Ajax for the first time. And that's when we get into that Francis nonsense. By the way, I hope the Francis YouTube Ranger gets a hold of that information. Anyway, so he spends some quality time with a fellow patient, shooting the shit and whatnot. But then he gets tortured to fucking death. He gets tortured all the way by Ajax and his assistant, the lady from the Fast and Furious movies, who everyone wanted to be Wonder Woman, and Warner Brothers apparently misunderstood them and was like, oh, I hear what you're saying. You want the Fast and Furious lady to be the new Wonder Woman. Okay, Gal Gadot's got the job. And everyone's like, no, we meant Gina Carano. We were talking about Gina Carano, you freaking dumbass. Now she's gonna have to settle for a henchman role in Deadpool. I hope you're happy, Warner Brothers. So anyway, Gina Carano is here, and shouldn't you be sympathizing for Deadpool right now? I mean, he's being experimented on. The Ajax is trying to activate the mutant genes in him, or at least the possible mutant genes in him, to activate whatever power he might have. Isn't that really cruel? And plus, isn't that something that you went through, or something similar? I mean, didn't you go through a similar project? Well, not according to the MCU, I didn't. Sure, my origins are tied with Wolverine, and his origins are tied with Deadpool, so by default, that means my origins are tied with Deadpool, but according to legal disputes regarding movies, that's not the case. It has nothing to do with each other. Yeah, right. Damn legalities, you freaking dumbass legalities. Anyway, so Deadpool is now has to go through the final he has to go through the final treatment, through the final through the final test to see if he's a mutant, and that's by getting rid of all the oxygen in his tube. Oh no, that's not the right way. You use that tube. You use that tube to freeze yourself until you're in the future, hanging out with Bender and Leela. Okay, don't dwell on a joke too long, okay? This movie never does. It just takes out a joke like in the 13-second flat. It's really fast paced with the jokes. It's like joke, okay? You have to be like that with this movie, okay? You can't dwell on your jokes for too long. Okay, I got it. I understand. So this is what causes Deadpool to finally mutate. This is what finally sets off the mutant genes. But it at a horrible price, because even though it activates his mutant power to heal from everything, the downside is it makes him horribly mutilated all over his body. Oh, God. But I can't describe how. I can't make a joke about it because this movie already made all the jokes. So that means you just have to sweat it off and move on, okay? Walk it off. All right? I know you missed your opportunity, but just keep going. Right. So once he has his powers, Ajax needs to emphasize how much he needs to be the villain of this movie instead of the guy who is not Kilbrew, to the point where he's like, hey, I'm going to repeat the procedure again just because I'm a dick. Okay, Deadpool? I don't need your permission. So he continues the procedure just to mess with Deadpool, and that's what causes Deadpool to snap and explodes the place thanks to Gina Carano's negligence regarding matches. And so the whole place is set ablaze, and Deadpool has this glorious battle has this big ass battle with Ajax, and to the point where Deadpool's like, hey, I'm gonna fight naked. I'm gonna be naked. I'm gonna have my penis dangling all over the place. You're not gonna see it for most of the point, but when Ajax impales me, that's when you're gonna see it. Sure, it's gonna be in the shadows and whatnot, but you can still make it out. You can still see it if you look really closely obviously you can see my dangling, mutilated penis, my deformed penis dangling there because I'm naked. I'm a naked Deadpool, and I'm naked. And Ajax is gonna leave Deadpool there all naked and stuff and burning. And then right over there is that patient who Deadpool was shooting the shit with, and now he's gonna die, and Deadpool has to see him die. And what's worse is that the last thing that man ever saw was Deadpool's deformed, naked, dangly bits, his naked, buck-ass nude body. It's so sad. And so Deadpool has a naked Phoenix moment where he naked rises out of the naked ashes like a naked phoenix.
Why do you keep emphasizing that he was naked?
Isn't that what you said to do? Emphasize funny stuff about the movie that the movie doesn't emphasize. That the movie does not that the movie does not point out. So I'm pointing out the fact that Deadpool was naked.
Okay, suit yourself.
Yes, I will. So now that Deadpool is all mutilated as fuck, we go back over to the present again, where Deadpool is having an argument with Colossus and Teenage Warhead, and the argument is regarding the fact that Colossus wants Deadpool to be on his side. Yes, because Colossus believes that Deadpool has potential to be a superhero. He just needs to get it out of him. And Deadpool, of course, Deadpool is always disagreeing with Colossus, saying, no, fuck that. I am not a traditional superhero. I am something in between. I'm more of an anti-hero type thing. But the movie never flat out says that, which is okay for me to point out then. Isn't that right, Nuke?
Yeah, sure. Well, why not?
Yes. So anyway, then Deadpool points out some stuff, pointing out how Negasonic Teenage Warhead's name is cool as fuck, and how Colossus is a goody two-shoes Boy Scout and whatnot. All this stuff, of course, he would point out. But of course, I am not pointing that out because I am above that. But too bad all of that distracts Deadpool from Ajax escaping. Yes, because Ajax's power is that he can't feel pain. Yes, that's his power, that he cannot feel pain. And his henchman Gina Carino's power is that she's super strong. Why did you have to do that to Gina Carino? In the comic books, her character, Angel Dust in the comic books has the ability to feed off of adrenaline. Like the adrenaline powers her and keeps her keep going. And instead here they decide, no, let's just replace that by with a more generic power, and that generic power is super strength. See, I'm getting a hang of it again, Nuke. I'm getting a hang of it.
Okay, sure, whatever, kid. Don't be cocky.
I'm pretty sure I'm a decade older than you. Anyway, yes. So now Colossus is like, screw all this. I'm gonna make you a more traditional superhero. Okay? I'm gonna be like that mother who wants Deadpool to be PG-13, even so my kid can watch it, even though this movie was clearly not made for my kid. Okay? I'm gonna be exactly like that mother. Okay? I'm Colossus, and I'm gonna be like that mother. I'm gonna wear a wig and I'm gonna wear a pearl necklace, and I'm gonna wear a dress and everything. Okay, let's go, Deadpool. And Deadpool's like, hey, I'm going to remind that mother why his kid cannot watch this movie by sawing my hand off and making a pop culture reference. Yes, I'm Deadpool. And so Deadpool jumps into his trash compactor so he can finally finish the series of flashbacks. Yes, we're going to finally have a conclusion to those flashbacks. So Deadpool, having been all mutilated, tries to get back with Vanessa. but he can't because everyone thinks he's an ugly fuckface now. He thinks he's butt ugly, and for some reason he lets other people decide his own decisions. Like, oh shit, if all these people are gonna be horribly judgmental about me, maybe Vanessa will too. Maybe that means I shouldn't. Maybe that means I shouldn't show my face to her. Well, guess what, Deadpool? She actually knows you. These people don't know you. They don't know you. They're just a bunch of random extras. Extras aren't meant to know things. They're just supposed to be confused and think the world revolves around them even though it doesn't because they're extras. Okay, Deadpool? Don't listen to them.
Well, at least Weasel is more accepting of him.
Who the fuck is Weasel?
T.J. Miller's character.
Oh, alright, I forgot that was supposed to be Weasel. Yes. Oh, sorry, all I see is T.J. Miller. Anyway, oh yeah, he is kind of like Weasel, isn't he? He just needs the hoodie with the Deadpool symbol. Although I understand why he does not have it yet, because Deadpool is not Deadpool yet. It's a Will Wilson. Wade Wilson needs that moment where he inspires to become Deadpool, which is right at that moment when he inspires to become Deadpool. So then we go through that traditional superhero type montage where the hero tries on a bunch of different costumes to see what works for the character, and he goes through the obligatory prototypes of the costume, the prototype costumes. Spider-Man did that, and Captain America did that, and Iron Man did that. Kick-Ass did that to an extent, except the difference with Kick-Ass is that they just stayed with the prototype and he never upgraded. But anyway, so after the montage of a Deadpool theme song that this movie itself made up for this movie, I hope that gets nominated for an Oscar next year. Yes, nominated. It's the right category. Do it, goddammit, you friggin' morons. It's too bad this isn't the same Deadpool theme song as the one that Marvel made for the Deadpool video game, but that's okay because that's probably once again another rights type of thing. And plus, I think this one's cooler. I think this one's a lot better than the Deadpool video game theme song. This one is where it's at. Too bad I don't remember it, but that's okay. All I remember is that it was freaking badass and awesome. So Deadpool investigates the workshop and kills all the people who are associated with the organization, including the guy who is not Dr. Kilbrew but could have been. Yes, I'm going to keep emphasizing that. I'm not going to emphasize the fact that he's kind of like a Agent Smith because Deadpool does that himself. In fact, you know what? Fuck it. I don't even really think he's that much like Agent Smith. You know what? Take that, Deadpool. I don't think he's like that. I don't agree with your pop culture reference at this point. Take that. Screw you. So anyway, so yes. So then, so after Deadpool has finally dealt with Agent Smith. Oh, God damn it! He got me doing it. Oh no!
That's the danger of dwelling too long. He influences you to make the same jokes he makes.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, okay. So anyway, so he kills him off screen, and they emphasize that it's off screen, whatever. And so that means that Deadpool has one last person associated with that organization to kill off. One last person. Okay, well, two. And of course, it is the big two. Ajax and Angel Dust, otherwise known as Gina Carino. He's still got those two left, and so that means that we're all caught up. We're all caught up with the movie. Although I don't have to say that because the movie does.
Don't emphasize how much you're defeated, okay? Don't emphasize how the movie covered something you didn't, alright? So what if the movie pointed out that they're all caught up before you got to point that out? Just move on.
Right. Moving right along. I don't know why I made that reference either. I'm desperate, okay? I'm desperate in this case. So anyway, so now, Deadpool, he goes back to his home, and he is, and he's roommates with this old blind lady who's from the comic books. Except in the comic books, she was white. So they made her black here, and it doesn't seem like they decided to point out that they made her black instead. So there's something I can point out. See, I can do this. I can point out stuff they don't. Yes, I can do it. I can still do it. So they have, your witty banter between a merc with a mouth and an old lady from a Tyler Perry movie. Although she's not from a Tyler Perry movie, she's from a good movie. This movie, sure, and Roots. And so Deadpool's like, hey, wait a minute, let me take advantage of how fucked up it is sometimes to have healing powers, because that means you can regrow your limbs. But guess what? Sometimes it doesn't happen all at once. So I'm going to show how my hand is a little baby hand, and I'm going to use that to make a masturbation joke because I'm Deadpool, okay? Alright. Now you're being meta about the meta. Do you think that's safe for me to do? Do you think that's a safe thing to do?
We'll see about that.
Alright then, I'm going to keep at it then. So, after he's done doing that scene that they joked earlier that they fast forward too far ahead to, this is when he realizes that, he needs to protect Vanessa. He needs to protect her, and he needs T.J. Miller's help, because T.J. Miller is the one who found out that the evil goons Ajax and Angel Dust are after Deadpool's former sweetheart Vanessa, because they threatened T.J. Miller. And at first I was like, oh no, deja vu, T.J. Miller's gonna die again. Oh God, is he gonna be Kentucky Fried? Is he gonna be Kentucky Fried like he was in Transformers 4, or is he gonna be eaten by a giant monster like in Cloverfield? Oh God, the possibilities are endless for T.J. Miller related deaths. Oh man, maybe they'll go for the way he died in Yogi Bear.
He didn't die in Yogi Bear.
Well, he should have. So anyway, but luckily he survived. So all the T.J. Miller fans can be okay. They can sigh relief and be like, oh, thank God. He lives to be in another Deadpool movie. Yes, or maybe another Big Hero 6 movie. Hey, T.J. Miller, you're walking the line there between Marvel movies and Fox Marvel movies. That's a thin, tight walking rope. Although maybe this is a different case because the Marvel movie is really more of a Disney Marvel movie than it is a Marvel movie. It's a Disney Marvel movie.
You're dwelling on jokes again.
Sorry, that wasn't even really a joke. That was more of a tidbit fact more than anything. So anyway, moving on from that over back to Deadpool situation. So Deadpool realizes from T.J. Miller that he has to save Vanessa. So he goes to this stripper joint. He goes to this stripper place where Vanessa apparently works at, and this is where we get our final Stan Lee cameo we will ever get from Stan the Man.
Really?
No, it's not his final cameo, but it should be. This should be Stan Lee's final cameo. This should be, okay? If this was Stan Lee's final cameo and he just killed over right after the movie was made, that would be so poetic, and it would be so justified, and it would be just so perfect, because that means he died the best possible way he could. I mean, sure, it'll be sad that a living legend died. However, he died, and his final scene that we ever saw him in, his final Marvel cameo, was being surrounded by boobies. That is the best way to go out. That is the best way to go out ever, to be surrounded by boobies. Unless you're a straight woman. Because in that case, it's being surrounded by dicks. And also a gay man. Also surrounded by dicks. I am going way too far with this.
Well, the movie goes way too far with some parts.
Yeah, but at least they're tasteful about it. I am not whatsoever. So anyway, so that's how Stanley should go out. And now I'm kind of sad because there's no way his next cameos will be as awesome as this one. Maybe awesome in other ways, but not awesome in the way where this would be your last, where if this was your last cameo to ever have. So let's hope he's in the Deadpool sequel, okay? Let's hope he's in that, and he's also surrounded by boobies, okay? Stan the booby legend. Oh, he's living on borrowed time. Anyway, so Vanessa is told that Deadpool is around the back, so she can finally reunite with him. And at first, we think we're gonna get that cliched rain scene, that we get in superhero films, where the couple makes out in the rain, even though it's a very inconvenient place to have such a scene. I would never have that in real life. That is so impractical and inconvenient. But anyway, but luckily they do not go that way, although they might as well, since, they would have made a joke about it if they did. But no, but instead of doing that, they instead forgo that, and instead, it's a surprise. No, instead of that being Deadpool, that's Ajax. Yes, he's going to kidnap, Vanessa. No, Vanessa! So Deadpool realizes this, and he's like, okay, I gotta break out all the guns, literally. I gotta get every single gun that's in Blind Owl's house. I gotta get every single one, including the ones that Blind Owl has up her vagina.
She doesn't have one up her vagina.
But she could have, and you're sure as hell I'm gonna bring that up, that she could have had a gun up her vagina, but they did not utilize that potential joke. Nope, but I sure as hell am.
Well, they could have, and you might have not, it might have gone over your head.
Stop reminding me, okay? Let me have this, let me have this moment, okay? God damn it. Alright, so anyway, so after Deadpool gets together all of his guns, he calls up the X-Men, just Colossus and Teenage Warhead, and he points out that thing that I wanted to point out, but he had already pointed out, keeping me from pointing it out. You know what I'm talking about.
Up, you're showing your weak side again. Don't do that. Don't let the Deadpool movies see your weakness, okay? Don't let them see you weak, okay? Only let them see you when you're strong.
Right. I forgot. Sorry. Alright. So anyway, so he puts all this stuff in a Hello Kitty bag, and he should have gotten the Adventure Time bag, since he's got an Adventure Time watch. So he gets all that, and he's reunited with the Indian stereotype, and they have more banter, and they call back to his conversation earlier, and the Indian stereotype has become Deadpool has become a bad influence on the Indian stereotype, and apparently Colossus doesn't give two shits about this, because this is the Deadpool Colossus. This is not the traditional X-Men Colossus from the other movies. This is Deadpool Colossus.
Well, doesn't that mean he should be more of a goody two-shoes? I mean, that's how he's basically characterized in this movie. His only character trait is that he's all honorable, and he's all about heroism and stuff. That's basically his only character trait.
Well, yeah, but it's better for that to be his only character trait than to have no character trait at all in the previous films. Oh, I made a criticism that this movie didn't make.
Yes, you can't always dwell on that. You have to keep going.
So after losing all his guns in this horrible car accident that probably will mean that this Indian guy who used to be lovable but now is probably going to be sent straight to prison for possible murder of the third degree. Oh, that's really dark. That's really a downer. How am I supposed to be happy about anything that happened in the movie when I know that the Indian guy is going to jail?
Because they don't show the Indian guy going to jail. I have a good point. So anyway, so now Deadpool arrives to this junkyard. This junkyard that includes this broken down helicarrier. What the? I didn't know they were that meta. I mean, I know this movie. I know, of course, this movie was going to make references to the MCU, which they did with their mentioning of ensemble superhero casts without actually outright saying it. But still, I didn't know they would actually outright put a helicarrier there.
I don't think that's a helicarrier. I think that's a traditional aircraft carrier that was broken down. I think that's it.
Hey, well, screw you. I'm going to pretend that's a helicarrier because I'm going to point something out, okay? That this movie doesn't. Anyway, so Deadpool is having a standoff with Ajax and his evil crew. Of course, this standoff does not have T.J. Miller in it because he's too busy getting ready for all of the How to Train Your Dragon sequels. So anyway, so that leaves Deadpool, Colossus, and Teenage Warhead to fight Angel Dust. Yes, they got to get through Angel Dust first, and also all of Ajax's henchmen. Yes, all of his henchmen. And guess what? There's a pleasant surprise with one of the Ajax henchmen. It's Bob.
Who the hell is Bob?
Who the hell is Bob? Shut your mouth. I can't believe you don't know who Bob is. Bob of Hydra. Yes, Bob, Agent of Hydra. That's his whole name. Bob, Agent of Hydra. Yes, he is a well-known supporting character of Deadpool, just as well-known as Weasel. But and it's such a pleasant surprise to see him in the movie, because I thought for sure they did not have the rights to Bob, because he's a member of Hydra. Therefore, they wouldn't be allowed to use him for this film because Hydra's being used by Marvel. So that means Fox wouldn't be able to use them. However, the pleasant surprise that it turns out, you know what? It's okay for us to use Bob as long as we take out the Agent of Hydra part of his name and all that remains is the Bob part. So Deadpool exclaims, "Oh my God, it's Bob! Hey Bob, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out, okay Bob? Okay." I'm glad Deadpool just knocked out Bob instead of like stabbing him or something, because I want Bob to be in the sequels. Goddammit, okay? I don't care if it's as quick as his cameo was in this. We need more Bob, Agent of Hydra, okay? I love Bob, Agent of Hydra. I don't care if they took out the Hydra. He's still Bob. Bob is still Bob all the way. Okay? And let Bob be Bob in the sequels. Let Bob be Bob. Okay, so anyway, so while Deadpool's doing that, Teenage Warhead and Colossus are taking turns with Gina Carino. Yes, you know, or is it Gina Crusoe? I don't remember. You know who I'm talking about. Angel Dust. Yes, they're trying to beat her up. Yes, she's so powerful that they need that Colossus can't do it alone. Oh my gosh. Still, I think it would have been cooler if they went with her traditional power, but then again, it wouldn't have been like movie worthy, so instead they went for this. Whatever. But anyway, so yes, but then the scene gets interrupted by like you said, Nuke, you mentioned that Colossus has a only one personality trait, right?
Yeah, it's that he's too much of a Boy Scout. He's very much too all about heroism and honor and all that.
Yes, and you know what? Even though that's just one personality trait, at least they utilize that all for its worth. They make that a weakness for him, because his weakness is that he's too honorable to not point out to Angel Dust that her boob is showing. He's like, I'm not comfortable with continuing this fight until you adjust. And she acknowledges that. She acknowledges, like, oh, you're such a gentleman, helping me out with that. Oh, it's so nice of you. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Oh, and that is Colossus's downfall, is that he is too chivalry. See, this is why chivalry is dead. That is why, because chivalry was too much of a pussy, and he got the
and he got the shit beat out of him.
Are you sure it's okay for you to use the word pussy?
Hey, okay, fine. Too much of a testicle. How about that? A testicle.
Okay, I think that's only fair.
Yes, he was too much of a testicle, and that's how he got his ass beat. But anyway, so the helicarrier is breaking down now. Yes, the helicarrier is breaking down, and of course that's to add tension, of course, and of course they gotta constantly remind us that Vanessa is still being a damsel in distress by having her be in that mutant tube. Oh no! Now she's gonna become a mutant. I hope so, because she's a mutant in the comic books.
Ah, there you go. Finally! You're bringing up more stuff the movie doesn't bring up.
Yes, you're right, because in the comic books, Vanessa is a mutant in the comic books. She is basically exactly like Mystique when it comes to powers. She is also blue, and she shapeshifts, just like Mystique. So it's weird that they did not include the fact that she's a mutant here, because you would think that because she's in the tube, that would mean that she would be transformed into her mutant persona in the comic books, Cuppy Cat. Yes, that's her name, a cat. But they don't do that. They don't do that in the movie. Maybe it's because maybe the reason why they didn't go for that is because they knew it was way too similar to Mystique, and everyone would be confused because they would be like, "Wait a minute, she's Mystique now? What does it have to do with this? What the fuck? We just saw a trailer with Mystique in it. She doesn't look like that." Yeah, so I that's probably why they didn't make her a mutant, because they wanted to avoid the confusion. So instead, she doesn't become a mutant. Instead, Deadpool gets her out of the canister, and we have this scene where she fights, she holds her own against Ajax, and then she gets knocked the fuck out, and Deadpool has a knife in his head, and he's having delusions of a bunch of cartoon characters. These look like cartoon characters that could interact with us. Isn't that right, Nuke?
Hey, now, I know you want to fight fire with fire, but sometimes you can use too much fire, okay? Don't acknowledge the fact that we are cartoon characters, okay?
Well, I don't think we're cartoon characters, because wouldn't cartoon characters have to be animated?
Stop it! Oh, stop it! Too much meta! Oh, we're getting a meta overload!
Oh no, I don't want a meta overload! What could happen because of that? What could happen because of a meta overload?
I'll tell you what, that could mean your worst nightmare will come true!
And what is that?
That cameo from Deadpool could actually happen. He could actually show up here now. I mean, don't you hear that music swelling up?
Oh my god, I do hear the music. And the fact that we're acknowledging the music means that it's getting more meta by the second.
You've got to ignore it. The more you ignore it, the more the music will die down.
Okay, I'm ignoring the music.
Okay, the music is gone. Oh no, it's back! Because you acknowledged that it's gone, and thus it came back. You gotta ignore it.
Okay, I'm ignoring it. Alright, okay, what was I talking about? Yes, Deadpool imagining cartoons surrounding Vanessa! So anyway, So the helicarrier crashes into bits, is destroyed. Negasonic Teenage Warrior, or Warhead, whatever the hell, decides to give one big final knockout blow to Angel Dust, thus knocking Angel Dust out, but also knocks out her. So Colossus has to get his balls back by rescuing both of them from this explosion, from this horrible avalanche of helicarrier pieces. Yes, I know it's not a helicarrier. Just let me have my moment. And so Deadpool has his final fight with Ajax, always reminding him that his name is Francis. I mean, I know Ajax is a weird name and whatnot, and I know it's too funny of a sounding of a name for Deadpool not to make fun of. But still, it's like I would prefer hearing him say that instead of keep constantly reminding him that his real name is Francis. Come on, now everyone's gonna think that his name is Francis instead of Ajax. Just let him be called Ajax, okay? So the big avalanche happens, and Vanessa is saved thanks to the canister, the mutant canister, which never made her a mutant, so that was a wasted opportunity. I mean, yes, I know, Copycat is too much like Mystique, but they could have made her someone else, like Bloody Mary, or no wait, not Bloody Mary, Typhoid Mary, or Domino. They could have made her Domino. Dominoes. But nope, she's still a human. Or maybe they'll save that for the sequel. But anyway, so she's alive. Colossus and Warhead are alive. I don't know what the fuck happened to Angel Dust, but Deadpool is alive too. But guess who else is alive? Ajax! So they have one more epic ass fight, and now Deadpool has got Ajax cornered. And that means that Deadpool has a chance to kill Ajax. But then Colossus is like, no! Don't do this, Deadpool! You cannot do this, Deadpool! You need to be strong! You need to be strong about this, Deadpool! And you must not do it! And I'm not going to acknowledge the fact that this movie did all that set up just for Deadpool to comically kill off Ajax despite all of Colossus's, despite the lecture that Colossus just exclaimed. Because I am bigger than that. I don't need to acknowledge that. Because the movie does that plenty well without me. The movie does that plenty well without me. They do that on their own. In fact, they did it so well that everyone saw it coming. Everyone knew, like, yep, the more Colossus is so sure that Deadpool won't do it, obviously means he will do it. It means he will shoot Ajax in the head and kill Ajax, thus rendering Ajax no longer to be used in the franchise so that someone else can be the villain next time. Who the hell cares? What matters is that I did not acknowledge it.
But you just did! That means the Deadpool cameo in this review is inevitable now. It will happen. I hope you're happy.
Oh no, I didn't mean it.
Yes, it's going to happen now. I can feel it. Oh, you better end this review soon before Deadpool shows up.
Okay, I'll beat him to the punch. So anyway, So what this means is that Deadpool puts together the whole message of the movie is that you don't have to be a hero all the time. Sometimes you can be something in between. Or at least, that's probably not a case to follow in real life, obviously. Don't follow in real life, kids. Oh, wait a minute. This is an R-rated film. Kids can't be here. But anyway, yes, but that's not what he means. What he means is that not every character that's going to be famous has to be the hero. You know, everyone's been criticizing, Breaking Bad and Dexter and all of these shows for having these anti-heroes, these questionable protagonists. But guess what? That's how it is kind of in real life, Not everyone is going to be morally perfect and whatnot. You're going to have your flaws and stuff. But what's important is also to not all the way be on the other end too. The flat-out villain. You're not a flat-out villain, but you're not a flat-out superhero either. And of course I cannot relate to that, neither can you, Nuke, because we're flat-out villains, of course. And you know what? Maybe that means that Deadpool will not show up. Because he's not a flat-out villain. That means he won't show up.
Yeah, but haven't you had Ozymandias on the show? He's not a flat-out villain, and you had him on the show.
Oh, fuck, you're right, he is gonna show up, oh no! Oh, I better wrap up this review quick. Okay, so anyway, so Colossus does not give up on Deadpool. He still believes he can make an X-Men out of him yet, which does actually happen in the comic books. Deadpool has become an X-Men in the comic books. He's got that yellow and blue suit, so maybe that'll happen, I don't know. That could be kind of cool if he wears that suit. Too bad no one in the X-Men universe apparently is allowed to wear color, unless it's the 1960s.
Well, except for Colossus, because, he's wearing red, and Negasonic Teenage Warhead, because she's wearing, yellow and blue, which is ironic since in the comic book she wears all black, and in this she's wearing bright colors. Oh, it's ironic. So they leave the movie, they walk away from the movie, and that leaves Deadpool to remind us that this was released during Valentine's Day, even though it apparently takes place during Christmas without any visual representation of Christmas. So Deadpool crams in one more reference to Wolverine, but with his mask that's of Hugh Jackman. And Vanessa's accepting of him despite his butt ugliness. Because guess what? She's also got a fucked up life too. I mean, sure, it's not to the point of mutant status like in the comic books. Sorry, I keep pointing that up, but I must bring that up though. She accepts that. She's fine with that because she's got a fucked up life too, just like Deadpool, as they had that banter with early in the movie. So they make out, probably, I don't know, maybe. I wouldn't blame her if she was a little apprehensive, a little bit like, oh man, it's gonna be like I'm kissing like I'm kissing. What are you doing, Graviton? Don't do this. Don't make a joke this movie already did. You're going to wake the beast. He's going to arrive. He's going to be in this review. If you do that, you'll be summoning him. If you do that, you'll be sealing our fates. If you try to make a joke about his ugly face after this movie made all of those jokes, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. She's basically gonna be like she's going to make out with the left butt cheek of an old grandma. He's here. Wow. I didn't realize it would be that, Deadpool. Yep, you brought it upon yourself. This is Deadpool. Yeah, but it's the stupid Deadpool. Yeah, but don't you feel just so defeated now? Don't you feel like really awful about this? Why? It's not the Deadpool I was afraid of. I was afraid of the snarky asshole Deadpool, and this isn't that. This is the one from X-Men Origins Wolverine. I'm fine with that Deadpool. But this video review is making a joke that was already made by the movie. So? What, you're okay that we just made a joke about the X-Men Origins Wolverine Deadpool when the movie already did that? You're okay that we repeated a joke they did? Hey, it happens. I watch all kinds of reviews on movies that I reviewed where they bring up the same points and say the same jokes I did. And I don't mind. You know what? Sometimes you're going to cross paths a little bit. Sometimes you might go bobbing for apples and you're both going to find the apple, okay? It happens sometimes, alright? Whatever. It's fine. It's okay, you know? It's okie dokie. I don't mind. Really? So you don't mind anymore? No, because guess what? There's room for this. There is a place for this kind of humor, you know? And even though I do it, and it's hard to tackle a movie that does the same thing that I do, guess what? That's why I do it, because I believe there's merit for this type of way of tackling things, you know, in a meta way and in a vulgar way. There's a way, and that's why I like doing it, because there's a place for it. And that's what this movie does. It acknowledges that there's a place for this kind of stuff, you know, the raunchy comedy type of stuff, you know, because that's a big market. And of course, if superhero movies have taught us anything, is that they can apply the superhero formula to anything. They can do it. They've proven themselves before, and they're trying to prove it with this one by applying it to the raunchy comedy genre, and they succeeded. So you're okay now. You're You're all dandy now.
Yes, I am dandy. In fact, I'm perfectly fine that they're showing a bunch of clips during the credits of the movie that now it's over, and they're showing credits of these cartoon images that look kind of like us. I'm fine with that. Whatever. You have your cartoony fun. What with your ejaculating unicorn and your Spider-Man reference and your erections. All of that. That is fine.
You're even fine with the after credit scene?
Oh shit, there's an after credit scene? Maybe I can handle it. I bet I can handle it. I bet I can handle it. Alright, let's see what the after credit scene is. Oh god, it's a recreation of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Oh god, I did not prepare myself for this. Oh, it's meta on top of meta on top of meta on top of meta. Oh god, we're experiencing another meta overload.
Except there's no music this time, which maybe means that it's not as big of a deal.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. There's no music, which means we have nothing to worry about. And plus, it's done. They're done. You know what? They had their fun with their Ferris Bueller Day Off joke, recreating the in-credit scene of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Whatever, it's fine. Like, oh, what are you still doing here? Go home. I'm in a robe. This isn't a hallway. Hey, bow. That's fine. Whatever. Oh no, he's making a joke about Nick Fury recruiting the Avengers. Oh god, oh no. Oh no, he did it. Oh, that's really, really meta. Oh, that is super meta. He went super meta without even flat out name dropping. That's how meta he got. Oh, but it's okay. Oh, it's okay. The movie's over because they mentioned the thing that Fox always does at the end of their movies, pointing out that, hey, this was made by a shitload of people, so you need to acknowledge that. And they show that, and it's like, okay, good. The movie is over. No more meta to deal with. Oh no, he just said there's gonna be a sequel!
Yeah, and what's worse is that he flat out says what will be in the sequel.
Yes, he says that Cable will be in it. Oh god, that's the most meta type thing you could do with this. Just it's like all types of movie. The after credit superhero films are known for setting up future films by having a cameo from a character, but Deadpool just blew that all out of the water by doing it as meta as possible by flat out just saying it, just literally saying there's gonna be a sequel and Cable's gonna be in it. We're literally outright saying that. We're just actually saying it. We're just decimating that wall. Even though he already made a joke about that. Oh god, the meta overload is going on full time. I can't handle it. Even the music is back. Oh god, you're right. Oh, there's no stopping it now. Oh, it's happening. Oh, what do we need to do? think we need to make a sacrifice. We need a human sacrifice.
Well, it's just so convenient we got this guy.
Oh yeah, you're right. Let's use his own sword to decapitate him. Yay! They accepted our offering of a human sacrifice. We did it. Oh, thank God. Oh man, this was such a traumatic experience. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, shouldn't you rate the movie now?
Yeah. Would you rather watch this movie or would you? Oh God, I'm too exhausted. Hey Nuke.
Yeah.
Would you rather watch this movie or watch a YouTube video of some guy talking in silly voices with using just a still image of a couple of comic book characters that he made using Adobe Illustrator? Which choice would you make?
Well, I think the movie is really enjoyable with its combination of comedy and action and darkness and everything you look forward to in a superhero movie combined with everything you look forward to in a raunchy comedy, and it doesn't feel like it favors one over the other. you know? And so by that, I choose this instead. I really do.
Yeah, me too. For that same reason exactly. You know, I'm gonna use this experience as an opportunity, as a learning lesson. I'm going to use this as a chance to for me to realize something. You know, this experience has made me realize something. You know, if I had such a traumatic experience doing this, you know, reviewing such a movie, you know, and a movie so good that it makes me want to watch it again, despite having a traumatic experience, you know, that makes me realize something. You know, the supervillains would have had a traumatic experience too, being the ones in these superhero movies, you know? It's like, I keep watching these superhero movies, and I wait like a whole bunch of time before I get those supervillains on the show, and sometimes they don't even show up at all. I just let that opportunity pass by. I mean, who knows how Angel Dust is feeling right now? What even happened to her? What even happened to Angel Dust? What happened to her?
Oh, I don't know. It's a mystery what happened to her. But then again, I don't think she's really traumatized by this. She doesn't strike me as the type of person who would be traumatized by this event. I think she's way too tough to be affected by this movie the way we were.
Yeah, you're right, but other villains wouldn't have that luxury of not being affected by a movie in this way. I need to do something about this. From now on, I am going to change the way I do these superhero movies. I am going to make sure that when a superhero movie comes out, I am going to review that movie with a supervillain that was in that movie. Yes, I am going to do that. I am going to use it as a therapy session. I'm going to use it as a chance to talk it out with them. I'm going to use it as a coping device for them. I'm going to use it as an opportunity to help them deal with the experiences by talking about it. I am going to do it. I'm going to do the Bludnovsky method. Yes, I am going to do that now. Yes, I will do it. I might have not been able to do it with Angel Dust, probably because she does not need it, given how much of a badass she is. But that doesn't mean the other villains won't need that. They need my support. They need me.
But what if all the villains of a superhero movie dies?
Oh, well then I'll just do it the usual way I'll do it. It's as simple as that.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, I'm glad I could help you through this experience, Graviton. I'm glad we had this bonding moment.
And I'm glad I helped you with your complications too. What with your traumatic experience with Purple Man?
Yes, I am completely rid of him. He is no longer in my mind.
Well, there's still a little bit of me left.
You shut up, Purple Man!
Oh, God. Well, that's it, everybody. That's our review of Deadpool. Dwah, 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 dwah.
How come you sound like the beginning of every song from the 80s?
That's because I'm reciting the score of the movie we just saw. Wasn't it fucking awesome as hell?
Oh, yeah. Earlier I said that it was a good balance of raunchy comedy and superhero movie, but there was also a third that it balanced.
Yeah, I know. 1980s action movies. Dwah, 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 dwah. Every time I heard that, I kept thinking, oh my god, a Michael Jackson song is about to begin. But it never did. I'll see you next time when we talk about a sequel that came the fuck out of nowhere. So it's only appropriate that we will have a review that will come the fuck out of nowhere. Although now that I'm announcing it, that means it won't be the fuck out of nowhere. But then again, I'm keeping it ambiguous as to what the movie is, so that means it is the fuck out of nowhere. But then again, you could probably connect the dots and cipher what the movie I'm talking about is, so it won't be the fuck out of nowhere. Screw it. I'll just see you then, okay?
What are we gonna do with this head and this body?
Well, we could use it to, set up a sequel that will never happen because a reboot happens instead.
Hey, remember what I warned you about regarding the meta overload?
It's okay now. That music is not happening anymore right now.
That's because it's in place of this traditional upbeat music.
Oh, right. Dua, 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 dua.